So, good morning, everybody, as Gert suggested, being loud and clear. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome all the guests and participants in this very important second day of our International Rail Baltica Global Forum 2019, the second day, which is dedicated to the suppliers and networking, I should say. Very important for the momentum of the project. I find it exceptionally pleasant to see many people all gathered here, linked together, and with good interest to participate in the great challenge, Rail Baltica project, which is strategic European railway project. And it goes without saying that it will be the first and only European gauge railway connecting Baltic countries with Western Europe, Northern Europe, and also creating a lot of logistics possibility between Asia and Europe. The transportation corridor is interesting not only because it will create better logistic possibilities, but it will also bring much more in creating a lot of business opportunities along all the scale of the project, all this circle of the project from the very beginning of it, design phase and even earlier, land acquisition phase until its delivery and maintenance. 15 years ago, European Parliament and Council have approved Rail Baltica, Polish, Lithuanian, Latvian and Estonian project being a project of European priority project list. However, at that point in time, there was not so many support to this project, and there was a little skepticism around it. And even today, we can say that there are still a lot of challenges. Managing financial flows, enormous scale design works, harmonizing interest between four countries, both public and private sectors. But on the other hand, the momentum of the project is completely different today. So to my belief, already today Rail Baltica project successfully rolls forward, like a freight train actually, I would compare. And this is somewhat like a forward train, which which has its quite slow start, as I said, 15 years. But now it has already gained a steady speed. And as you can understand, in comparison, we can hardly imagine the circumstances where we could stop a train easily. So this is a very good and important momentum. And until recently, we have operated a number of presentations, visualizations of the project, but today we see first results. The line between Kaunas and Poland is being operated, both for passenger and freight. The land acquisition processes are well advanced. The design contracts are signed, and you can imagine that we have in different sections of Rail Baltica project a different progress, but this progress is very important, and therefore we can very clearly say and loud that the train is rolling already. So for the Kaunas Polish border or Poland side, the line is being operated, but already shortly the Kaunas intermodal terminal will be connected as well, creating even more possibilities and opportunities. And the first cargo train departing from China we saw in 2017. Last year, the amount of trains was 130, and this year we expect to increase this number already twice. So what is important to say is that the market, to my understanding, the market or the demand for Rail Baltica will not appear in one day in 2026. We need to grow this demand before. With our commercialization activities, where joint venture plays a very important role, but as well as by activities of all the stakeholders engaged. So the amount of freight trains, also the attempts and plans to improve the communication for passengers already today from Kaunas to Poland has a big chance to increase this demand already until 2026. So this would bring already a potential present in 2026 when the Rail Baltica is commissioned, the double-track electrified ERTMS line. So going onwards, of course, we have a lot of challenges in front of us, 900 kilometers almost to build to Tallinn. It sounds ambitious, but the design works have already started and all other activities. So we are very confident to succeed. Is there any chance that we might face unplanned obstacles? I very much hope that we will not. But my experience says that normally it happens. So in case it will happen, for that we are prepared. We are fully prepared. We have very strong project team, both joint venture, implementing bodies, and experienced suppliers market to overcome these challenges and these possible obstacles. And we actually, in addition to that, have very favorable circumstances on our side, which is constructive cooperation, engagement of all stakeholders of the project, and of course, very strong political support. When it comes to the project progress, this year is certainly, in certain sections, the procedures are almost completed in regards to the sensitive issues. I mean land acquisition, which is a challenge in itself. In our countries, it is unprecedented. In Baltic countries, it is unprecedented activities with a very big number of land plots to be acquired, and it is very sensitive socially. But we have very, very good progress in this part, and we have very good support from society. And by having acquired a part of the sections for the land plots, we already have a possibility to move forward with design activities and construction and other activities. So there we cannot imagine acting without good and active participation from the suppliers market. So as you can see, the phase of the project shifts to the technical design and construction phase, and that is very, very good progress. Currently, real works have been started already, as you know. In Lithuania, we have at Kaunas node, we have few sections in progress already, and as I mentioned already, 2 contracts are signed for the design of the double track. Last week for Estonia section from Parno to Rapla, and yesterday for Kaunas to Ramygala part. Very important progress. Territorial planning is also to start in the new sections of the railway, and the news was that also yesterday we have started the procurement for the spatial planning in the Kaunas-Vilnius section. So it is coincidence with the Global Forum. The European Commission actually and the Council and European Parliament have reached the compromise on CEF support in new financial perspective along Rail Baltica to remain in priority EU project which should receive sufficient funding, leading to a timely implementation of it. And The Baltic countries are ready to face the challenges, and as our practice shows, because how can you convince anybody that you are ready to face challenges? I believe it is our experience, and experience shows that we are able to face them. And we hope that the suppliers market is ready to face these challenges together with us as well. And only sustainable cooperation will allow us to achieve the desired result, timely implementation of the project. And in this part, I would really like to stress that this constructive cooperation with the supplier market is very important. Active participation in the procurement, respecting the timeline, fair competition, and all other efforts from the procurement part, procurement authority part, which in this project there are several procurement authorities, joint venture, but also implementing bodies. So it is important that we maintain this very, very good positive partnership behavior, because that will be a win-win situation. We know that timely implementation of the project is of a key importance. So if we are able to demonstrate this behavior, everybody will win from that. In this further steps, the know-how and the experience of the companies during the installation of Rail Baltica and other activities is very welcome, and there is interest and participation in further activities, and new ideas, advanced technologies in planning, designing, equipment, construction activities and other areas all are always welcome, and I trust you can demonstrate it. To conclude, I hope and I would like to sincerely thank all the suppliers for your presence in big number, and I wish that during this second day of Suppliers Day and Networking Day, and this event meets your expectations. And I hope that for the best results in our good joint work and cooperation. And in other words, let us get this project delivered timely, in an outstanding quality, and within the dedicated budget. Thank you so much.